call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Sports Talk 305 Network is back. It's time to talk Miami Dolphins football with the greatest fan base in the world. This is the Miami Dolphins Postgame Show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. Here's your host, the Big O.
Oh, baby, yeah. Oh, man. I'm beside myself right now. Not that I'm shocked, because I knew Tua was the man. I always had faith that Tua would pull it off, that Tua would become a stud. But I got to tell you something. No liquor. It's just honey and lime because, I'm doing 7 days a week nowadays. So I gotta get it going here. Oh my God, this is just outstanding. Nothing could be better for the Dolphin Nation. You know what I'm saying? You wanted a quarterback, a real quarterback, not that Mickey Mouse crap that they've got there in Baltimore. That he teases you with the athleticism and it wows you. But every time you need a real passer. Oh, by the way, tell Lamar Jackson that was a playoff game. That's why he lost. That's a playoff game. That's why he lost. The Dolphins played the worst half of football that they can play and came back and beat the Ravens 42-38. Suck on that. Did you hear me? In a half of football, the Dolphins went into Baltimore and won, playing the most embarrassing half of football I've seen in a long time. Josh Boyer was Homer Simpson going into the bushes. And guess what? We needed to find out about what? Tua, you found out. You guys did, not me. I knew that was there. But guess what we all found out? Mike McDaniel. The shit hit the fan. The shit hit the fan at halftime. And you're going, okay, so let's go, Mr. Joke Around. Mr. You come to the podium. It's all fun and games, right? You've heard the naysayers, right? Well, it's all fun and games. Wait till the crap hits the fan and they're trailing in the game. Let me see what Mike McDaniel's got. What do you got about that? Boy, there's a lot of people today looking really, really stupid, right? Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert couldn't win that game today if his life depended on it. Okay? If his entire life depended on it, he couldn't win that game. Oh, by the way, neither could Lamar Jackson. And he had the lead. Front runner, just like Ryan Tannehill. Front runner, I love those kind of quarterbacks. They're not real quarterbacks. They're athletes playing quarterback. They think they can play this game. And Lamar's lucky because he can run faster than everybody else. But in the end, bro, how many seasons are you going to wait for him to be a passer? It ain't going to oh, by the way, I'm sorry. Hey, idiots. You still trading for Lamar Jackson? You still want to sign him in the offseason? Huh, morons? Before the game, we had the morons already off the ship. Oh, I can't wait till we trade for Lamar Jackson. Where are you? Dolphin Nation, baby. We're back. We're back. We're back. I told you the entire offseason they'd beat the Patriots and they'd beat the Ravens. I told you they'd go 3-1 the first 4 games. I told you Tua would be the guy. We get it right here. On this show, we get it right a hell of a lot more than getting it wrong. And especially when it comes to the Dolphins, ooh, baby, we bought a much higher percentage than anybody ever in town. Ever. Print, radio, TV, we smoke them all. Every time, pretty much. I kept telling you, Tua's Breeze. I tell you, Tua's Montana, actually, not Breeze. That's what I say. He's Montana. But I told you, he's just like those guys. He's like Tarkenton. He's just like those guys. What people are, those of you that believe in Tua, I'm not really talking to you, but those that don't believe in Tua, the problem is that the Drew Breeses of the world, the Bob Greaseys, the Fran Tarkentons, the Joe Montanas, they don't possess the natural gifts that Jim Kelly has, that Justin Herbert has, that Dan Marino has, all that, right? So they have to adjust their game to game speed of the NFL. Sometimes they make a pretty quick transition, and sometimes it's a little bit of an adjustment because timing and everything, they have to learn. But, Tua's getting that. He's adjusting to his talent and adjusting the game speed. He's a passer. He has anticipatory skills. And by the way, here's the other thing I love about Tua. He makes mistakes. I put it on Twitter. That pass he threw in between 4 guys, he's fearless, dude. You're not going to scare him. You hit him, he'll get back up again, and he'll keep playing. He makes a mistake, he's going to get back again, and he's going to attack you again. And if you think he's not going to try to thread it in there, he will try to thread it in there. On the one to I think it was to Hill, right? It was a little late, and that was on him. That was on him. But that's fine, dude. He didn't cost them a bunch of points or anything today. It was really more the special teams giving up that touchdown to start the game. It was the long run they gave up to Lamar Jackson and a couple of other long plays on defense overall. That really was a disaster in the game. Tua was never the reason why you were losing. But boy, weren't you ready to jump on it, weren't you? Although those anti-Tua people, they're not even here, right? Those people are lost. Those people are gone, right? And now you're going to have writers. Boy, they're going to be backtracking. You know that in the media room, and I sensed it. In the media room, I gave them the line I gave you. I've seen this quarterback before. His name is Joe Montana and Drew Brees and Fran Tarkenton. And I saw guys like, you know why? Because you're size queens. Because you think every quarterback has to be 6'5" and throw it 150 yards. And you don't understand that Tua is a hell of a lot better quarterback than Justin Herbert. Hey, by the way, how's that statement looking now that I'd rather take Tua over Herbert still? In the face of all the negativity out there. How's that looking, by the way? It's looking pretty good, right? I don't see Justin Herbert having those kind of games, bringing teams back from, what was it, like 21? Was it 21, Sean, the deepest deficit? I want to say. I think it was 21 points.
Yeah, it was 21 points going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I want to see Justin Herbert do that. Huh? Where are you, Justin Herbert fans? By the way, at least do some of you out there, and I know there's a shit ton of super chats that have come through here, and thank you all out there for the love on the show. You guys are just absolutely amazing. This is what I was expecting from this kid. You saw it at Alabama. I told you, give him competence. And kudos to the defense, because they were terrible in the first half. It takes a lot of character to bounce back in the second half like the Dolphins defense did. A lot of character, man. So I got to give them a ton of credit. We got to give Josh Boyer a little love too. Okay, Josh, his defense adjusted in the second half. But can we bask in the glory now? Can we bask in the glory of Tua? Can we? Can we do it? I know some of you out there, boy, it's got to be a terrible week. You were rooting for Justin Herbert. You wanted to sign Lamar Jackson. You think Tua's trash. And now he comes out with, maybe this might be one of the best. Is this the best quarterbacking job since Dan Marino? Can you think of a better quarterback performance than Dan Marino in this one?
No.
Dare I say that? Oh, my God.
No, they said
you can't, right?
He tied Marino and Greasy for 6 touchdowns in a game.
Oh, no. I see. I get it, the stats, but I'm not a stats guy. I'm talking about performance.
Oh, no.
I'm talking about coming back from a big-time deficit and putting up monster effing numbers. Okay? I don't know if I've seen this since Marino. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Those Deshaun Watson. Did I want Deshaun Watson? No. Did I want Justin Herbert? No. Do I want Lamar Jackson? No. Did I want Tua? Hell yeah. Boy, what a bad week for you, Negative Nelly. Because you know you got your buddy, right? That's been trading for everybody and wants everybody else except Tua. Oh, man, that guy's got a just what I went to an Iron Maiden concert, and it was the Power Slave tour. I remember it vividly. Okay, it helps when you're not really all doped up ever. So I'm there, right? And the guy behind me is sitting with a big gulp type of cup, throwing up the entire night. He missed the whole show. We'd look back, and there he was, just throwing up in his cup. That's your buddy right now. Oh, I can't wait. We're gonna get Lamar Jackson next year. You know, a buddy of yours said that during the game. Before the game, during the week, last month. And then that same buddy, oh, dude, we should have drafted Herbert. But remember, Miami Dolphin fans, remember what we learned this week. When they tell you Justin Herbert should be the pick, you say 6. That's it. And that ends it. Justin Herbert should be the 6. Every time they say should have been the pick, and you say 6.
What's overlooked is the run game. I think we did really good in the run game as well.
Let's go to a real quarterback.
The ball, but we had to make some big plays when it needed to happen. So that's what we did.
I checked the sound. I don't know. There's something wrong with the sound. I got to figure it out.
I would say I'm always.
All right, hold on. I guess there's something going on with the sound. They're trying to figure it out. Let's make sure that we get some good sound here. Maybe, I don't know what the hell they got to do. They got to tweak it. All right, so can I go through some of these? I probably won't be able to go through all these damn super chats, and thank you all of you out there that sent 4 billion super chats. I appreciate it. Cane's Purebred, John Holt, thank you, my brother, with a super sticker. I see Chris. Oh, we got him? All right, go ahead. Let's go.
I'm going to be honest. We weren't going to have Tyreek.
It's got to be on their end. It's not my end. I fixed everything here. I don't know.
All right, so let's wait till it's posted in a little bit, and then we'll get it in there, and we'll get it played, man. But we'll get it in there. But thank you, Manny J. Snow. I mean, I see Kane's Pure Blood, Joe Holt, Chris Johnson, Callie, Mario Biovedis, Chris Johnson. Excuse me. Oh, man. I'm going to sleep like a baby. I'm with you, Jesus. I'm going to sleep like a baby. I got to tell you, I'm on cloud nine because I'm so happy for Tua. Really, that in the end, I'm happy for Tua more than anything else because I've never seen anybody treated more unfairly than Tua Tagovailoa. I had a guy on Twitter go to me, well, he still has those turnovers there, shows his lack of immaturity. And I sent him, hey, Drew Brees, first 3 years, 29 touchdowns, 31 interceptions. How'd that work out for maturity long term? Problem is microwave society. John Elway, I believe it was 49 of 52 touchdowns to interceptions his first 3 years. How'd that work out for him long term? Okay. It's stupidity. Oh, he underthrew this. On Thursday night, I pointed out how many times both Herbert and the great Pat Mahomes, not Justin Herbert. Oh, by the way, will Joe Shad call Tua great this week? He's done something greater than anything Justin Herbert ever did. Justin Herbert's a choke artist with 4 pick sixes in a short career in the fourth quarter, all losses. I'm just wondering, by Joe Shad's standards, if Justin Herbert is great, well, Tua now should go to the Hall of Fame already. I'm just saying. A guy that's never had a winning record at any point in his career compared to a guy that always has a winning record. Oh, I'm sorry. Is Tua 2-0? Is Justin Herbert 2-0? Did Justin Herbert beat Tua? No, of course. Oh, and what are the excuses going to be made for Tua tomorrow? I'm just wondering. Right? I want to know what the excuses are, or are you going to take the L? You know what I'm saying? Right? Like my boy Adam Beasley, you're going to take the L? Because you couldn't have been more wrong about the kid. By the end of the season, boy, be ready to take that L. Be ready to take that L, son. I'm going to be handing out a lot of L's to a lot of people in the media. We're going to be calling them out by name. We got you. I got you. I know who you are. One game only. Well, actually, he played well last week. He didn't play bad last week. But don't worry about it. Give me the ammunition. Wait till the end of the season. We'll be calling out fools. And you know what's going to be funny is watching them all backtrack now. Writers, television guys, what's left of local radio. Because a few of them there, they need to backtrack. I believe the entire Joe Rose morning show is going to need a backtrack. Okay? I believe the entire show will have to backtrack. But, we'll wait till the end of the year to make sure we have some fun with this. It's all right. We've only stuck the toe in the water with Tua. This is just the toe in the water. By the end of the year, when we got our whole damn body in it, oh, baby. What happened to the Ravens? Well, maybe when they get a real passer, they get a real passer like Tua Tagovailoa. then maybe, the Ravens can enjoy that. Dolphin Mark, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. There you go. Longtime listener and Tua believer. I love it. I love it. Chris Johnson, Cali, thank you, sir. Todd Pig, can you imagine what this team could do if it had a QB? Eat crow, Tua haters. Moosey, don't forget to kick the people off who are trying to jump on the Tua bandwagon. No vacancy. Oh, no, they're not getting on. We've been talking about this. See, that's the thing with me. I'm steadfast, dude. I don't waffle and I don't do any of that shit. Okay? I don't go, oh, I like him. No, I don't. No. I'm on. I'm off. I'm off. Lamar. Never believed in Lamar. Never will believe in Lamar. I'm not. He's just an athlete that plays the quarterback position, and I get it. But when push comes to shove, his game never, ever materializes in playoff-like situations. What did you have today? So I'm steadfast about this. And I've been on the Tua bandwagon. I'm the president of the damn Tuanon club. So for me, this is heaven watching this right here. Jericho, thank you, sir. CSR Collectibles, thank you, sir. He says, this is for Joe Shad Fund. Yeah, Joe Shad gonna be eating a lot of crow. Our boy Alan Poupar gonna be eating a lot of crow. Matthew Rankin. Oh, by the way, send Cam and Marcel links. So they're ready to join us whenever they're done. Matthew says, this is your moment as well, Big O. You never doubted the man. Thank you, sir. Thank you. This is our moment. This is our moment. This is not my moment. This is not my moment. I've said this a lot of times over and over again. The young Dolphin fans are my favorite Dolphin fans on the planet because they've had no reason to root for this team since they were young, and they've stuck there. And I saw the 70s. I saw the 80s and the early 90s, and I've been covering the team since the early 90s. 91 is my first year. So I've enjoyed the great times, even though I was really young. I was 7 and 8 years old when they won the Super Bowls, but still, I have great memories. I want young fans to enjoy those memories. I want them to have those experiences. And I'm so happy that you're going to be able to do it with Tua and not a scumbag like Deshaun Watson, which, by the way, this is the other thing. This is the glorious part about all of this. To think that we had an owner that really was listening to that idiot coach that they fired, that cock blocker, Brian Flores, who kept stopping this team from being better, and he wanted to bring that scum here. And I'm so glad that Flores couldn't bring Watson, that Beal failed with Brady. Dude, Brady's here for one more season. He's taking Wednesdays off. Again, another clown show we would have turned into. No, man. This is a great young man that can represent your franchise for years to come. He's a fantastic person. He's a leader. He's a winner. He's tough as nails. I don't know how you didn't see it at Alabama. That's the part that baffles me with everybody. Gilbert Martinez, thank you, sir. John C., thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Very nice of you. I'm starting my YouTube channel this week. It's going to be Crow Recipes for the Journalists. Big O, you never lost any confidence in Tua. I'm glad you are the one positive one that shares the sentiments of a great quarterback. What will doubters say now? You know what the doubters need to do, bro? The doubters need to be men and women, right? And they need to step up and just say, Take the L. Take the L. That's all. I was wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all wrong. Bunch of times. Michael Irvin years ago was accused of, I forgot exactly what it was, cocaine, hookers, or some crap or something that he did. And he didn't do that. Okay. I know Michael had fun and did some stuff and all that, whatever. But what he was specifically, I forgot exactly what he was accused of, and he was cleared. He wasn't guilty of it, right? And he came out and said, exonerate me with the same kind of passion or hate or energy or whatever. I forgot how he phrased it. It was beautiful. And that's what I ask of the ESPN idiots. This is what I ask of the Fox idiots. This is what I ask of the CBS idiots. This is what I ask of the QAM idiots. This is what I ask of anybody that was an idiot in the newspapers, in any kind of other print or website. Take the L. Be a man, be a woman, and say, I was wrong. That's all I'm asking. I was wrong, and I'm going to praise the kid now, as strong as I was critical and as ridiculous as I went to extremes. So I hope you're doing that. Can you show me some of those? Because I know you passed up a couple there. I'm sorry, because there's so many coming in. Juice F5, thank you.
I think
Best
some of
Dolphins.
these you already got to. I'm just putting them up on the screen because I know you read some. But I'll put them up as we go. I'll start here, and then I'll work down from here.
Okay, I'm sorry. There's so many coming in, and I'm talking. It's really difficult right now to kind of get that going. But again, thank you all out there. Please, by the way, smash the hell. I mean, smash it for Tua, dude. We got 2K watching right now, and there's 417 likes. Come on, man. Come on. With the Dolphin and the Tua performance, the 2Ks should be there in likes, man. Come on. Do it for Sean. Do it for Chad. Do it for Tua. Do it for our great sponsors like Cutter's Edge, like Edge Energy Drink, like Sports Grill. Come on, man. Do it for the great sponsors that keep this platform going and helping us grow. Look at this, man. Over 2K today. It's beautiful. Stu, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Man, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Went to 704 at least, so that's good. I was happy for Gesicki, by the way. I thought that was great to see him get involved in all of this. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. That's one guy that you want to see. Let me explain something I like about Gesicki on top of all of that. And in the same way, Juan Castillo, thank you. Gesicki's been a man through all of this, man. He's trying to fight through all of this, learn how to block if he can, to become a better blocker. It's not his thing, but he doesn't point fingers. He doesn't say, I want to get traded. Tua, here's all the bull crap about Watson and this and that. And all you people out there spewing your hate on social media and the idiot talking heads on television that don't know jack crap. And dude never flinched. Excuse me. Getting a little gassy here. Dude never flinched. And acted like a man throughout all of this. And there's something to be said about watching people go through adversity and overcome that adversity. And there's all kinds in this world. I don't care if you're Jim Abbott with one arm pitching against the Cuban national team in Havana with Fidel in the stands, okay? Or you're Edwin Moses in front of, Hitler, or you're Jackie Robinson or whatever. There's all kinds of ways that people have fought adversity in life. Michael Chang all cramped up against Yvonne Lendl. I mean, we could think of so many of them. And when you admire the people that stay stoic throughout all of this, while half of you don't believe in the man and you want to tear him down, he's playing for you. Think about that. How screwed up is that for Tua? He's playing for the team that you supposedly love, yet you spend half your time crapping on the kid. And yet, throughout it all, he stays tough, man. He doesn't go Baker Mayfield on your ass. None of that, dude. He's not Kyrie Irving. I mean, there's everything to admire about people like Gesicki, people like Tua. Because we all face adversity. You know, when I started this thing 2 years ago, I didn't know where this was going. People were kind of, oh, really? This is what you're going to do? And I'm like, well, this is what I think is where we're going. And look where we're at now, dude. We're pacing for 26 million audio downloads. We are picking up, subscribers every day. And thank you so much on behalf of Sean and Chad and all of our insiders. Thank you so much for supporting us. You got to stay strong in life, man. You got to overcome the adversity. You've got to overcome the negativity and the disbelief. Because people aren't going to believe in you. They're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. And that's cool. But you can't fold. If you believe in yourself, which is Gesicki, if you believe in yourself like Tua, you fight through all this kind of stuff. Tyreek Hill, man, fighting through the cramps. That's one tough hombre. Holy shit. You can tell he was hurting, man. You see it at times. We don't get to see everything, but the little that we get to see at times, you could tell he was being a soldier through that. Okay, not the Kellen Winslow Jr. type. Carlos Alberto, thank you, sir. To a first QB to win at Ravens since 97. Well, that's because this is the best QB we've had since Marino. Rene Macias, Big O, I've hated your guts for years, and I thought Tua was trash, but today I've witnessed one of the greatest games in Dolphin history with Tua getting the credit from me. I couldn't be happier. Thank you, Rene, and I love you as much as you hate me. And thank you for hating me, because I love that too. Juan Quintero, Tua, Waddle, Hill, what a thrill. Tua, Waddle, Hill, what a thrill. I love it. I love it. Evan Posner, Big O, Poopart, my fellow Expos and Montreal fan, needs to issue you, me, and all the Tua supporters a formal apology this week. Cheers from Montreal. Fins for life. Cheers, my friend. It's a good day. Didn't have to use my AK. Leon Fresk, that's a rap song, by the way, so relax. Just in case we have some lame-ass, really, really old people, or I don't know, maybe some young people that may not know, like, when they had real rap. So just in case. Leon Fresco, thank you. This was Tua's Neo in the Matrix game, we believe. Thank you. Yes, Sean Stanley. What can you tell me, sir?
Trey Lance carted off. Garoppolo came in and threw a touchdown.
Well, that's not good. Although there is plenty of time for Jimmy to get injured. Not that I wish it on him, but I mean, there is 15 other games left. He's not staying healthy that long. Wow, Trey Lance, poor kid. Poor kid. Hey, can I do something for you all out there? Especially for all those Herbert Watson, excuse Lamar Jackson guys. Let's read some stats. The Miami Dolphins scored 28 points in the fourth quarter, led by Tua Tagovailoa, and he was 36 of 50 for 469 yards. That's right, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Raheem Mostert, 11 of 51. Tyreek Hill, 11 for 190 and 2 TDs. Waddle, hell of a game, 11, 171 and 2 TDs. Although I was still frustrated with like 3 plays of his. What were they? It was like, as he had such a great game, right? But he had the bobble, Waddle with the bobble. Then he had the sideline catch, which, come on, dude. Then he had the other one where he had to come back to. But, it's hard to complain when you have 11 for 171 and 2 touchdowns. But there were a couple where like, come on, Waddle, bro, finish that. You're better than that. You're a freaking stud. It's like he's elite. And I know he's elite. By the way, you trading for other receivers again now? Because that was another thing from 2 years ago. Well, they should have never gotten Waddle. They should have never gotten Waddle. Where do you have that buddy also, the one that didn't want Waddle? The one that was second-guessing Waddle also? Gesicki, 4 for 41 and a touchdown. On defense, Christian Wilkins had 8 total tackles, 6 solo. By the way, the Dolphins did not record a sack in this game. It's pretty impressive. I'd read the other stats, but, I don't read loser stats. Who cares about loser stats? Loser stats are not needed to be read here on the show. I only read stats of winners. So, Jose, thank you, sir. He says, I told my wife in the fourth quarter that we could have another baby if the Dolphins won. Did not think we would. I will never doubt again. Tom Wilson, thank you for the love. Estevan Jr., all of this with the refs on our backs. Yeah, but whether they won or they lost, I wasn't blaming the refs. By the way, you can also reach out to make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. And Ray Martinez, thank you, sir, for the love on the Cash App. You're awesome. Samuel, thank you for the love on the Cash App. Let me see what the guys wrote. Ray did not write anything. Samuel says, for Big O, please tell the Tua haters to find another team. I love it. What else do we have here? On the Venmo also, Nick Rodriguez, thank you for the love on Venmo. Remember, you can make the donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. We get the whole donation there, where on Super Chat we get 70. YouTube gets 30%. That's why. Nick says, signature win, much love from the SCV in Cali. Keep it up, Big O and Sean. 2-on for life. Calling it now. 13-4, number 3 seed in the AFC. McDaniel and Tua, an amazing duo. Let's go. So let me ask you something now, Sean. When I said a couple months ago that they're going to go 3-1 in the first 4 games, it sounded pretty crazy. So we got 2,000 right now. What's the answer? Do you like the Dolphins to win one of the next 2 games? Yes or no? That's all I need on the chat board right now. Give me a yes or a no. Am I looking a little more sane right now? Because, boy, they were telling me I was crazy 2 months ago when I said they're going to go 3-1. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. I like it. Nick Rodriguez. No, I'm sorry. Thank you, Nick. Let's see. Alexander Lopez. To El Barbaro, the only mistake we made today was the uniform guy. Could have added a 3 to Tua. Tua's 1 for that performance. Best victory of the last 20 years. Amen to that, my brother. Mark Jean Baptiste. Tell the Herbert fans to shut the F up. There you go. Thank you, sir. And Peter German, also on Venmo. Boyer called an awful game. Tua was a star today. Well, wait a minute. Boyer called an awful half. Boyer stepped up in the second half. Okay. Steve M, also plenty of love on Venmo. Thank you, sir. Steve, are you converted? because he's not really a Tua guy. I love it. I love it. Let's see, what else do we have here? John says, thank you, John. We need to give blue ties to his flowers in the chat board. He can't hold his L next to the line narrative to give Tua his due. You give blue tie to his flowers in the chat board. Oh, are you talking about, who are you talking about? Are you talking about Shad? I think Shad will give him credit. I think Shad will definitely give him credit. At least that's what I'm thinking.
No, I think
Tony Zagalis, thank you, sir. Oh, Tony Zagalis, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. He is what's it called? He is sending a Bitcoin. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yes.
It was in reference to a chatter that's blue tie limousine. With everything going on, he says, again, I asked everyone, did the Miami Dolphins win the Super Bowl today?
Oh, no, but no. Oh, the problem, remember, blue ties looks like a jackass. Remember, blue tie is a Tua hater. So blue tie looks like a king-size jackass right now, and he knows that. So he has to come back with, oh, the overreaction. Did you guys win the Super Bowl? Not, oh, my God, I look like crap. Hey, you know what? Dude, Tua was awesome today. I'm not a believer. I'm still not he could at least say, you know, it's only one game. I'm not a believer, but I got to admit, the kid balled out today. He was awesome. You know, adversity, overcoming adversity. That's what you're supposed to point out about Tua. More adversity today. His team was crap in the first half. He had no help. He made some bad decisions. Did it stop him? No. Yes, sir. What were you going to say? What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to read some more of his Jets won today. I guess Flacco is taking them to the Super Bowl.
Right,
and then,
right.
Then here's your overreaction one for you, just for you. I've never seen so many football fans overreact to one game, win or lose. Everybody is great or sucks depending on the outcome. It's actually hilarious.
It's he looks like a jackass. That's all. That's what's going to happen. Herbert people, you look like jackasses. Lamar Jackson people, you look like a jackass. Deshaun Watson, you look like a jackass. Just admit it. That's all. We all do it. I do it all the time in 32 years. I've done plenty of things and I look like a jackass, but the difference is I admit when I'm a jackass. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all screw up, man. We all make mistakes. We all pick the wrong team. We all pick the wrong numbers in the lottery. We don't get an A, we get a B or C or a D, whatever. Whatever. Failure happens. Take your L. And guess who gave it to you? This guy here that's about to address you. Let's hear from a real quarterback. And the best quarterback the Dolphins have had since Dan Marino. I give you Tua Tagovailoa.
I can't remember. I would say probably college that I can vividly remember the game against LSU at Alabama, my last game.
What's it feel like when your offense is doing what it did today?
It feels good. You know, I think you look at the first half, we couldn't stick to our rhythm. You know, for me, I wanted big plays and big plays now. And so really second half we came in and played the way we wanted to. That's what I'd say about that.
Can you describe what you were thinking, what you were feeling in that fourth quarter? Touchdown.
It felt good. We were executing on all cylinders offensively, and then when there were times where we didn't execute, no one panicked. Everyone, just came back into the huddle, and we regrouped, and we went back out there and tried to execute whatever play we were given.
Joe, how about your perspective on that in that whole second half, for that matter? Just the guys up front.
Yeah, I think they did a tremendous job. They did a tremendous job from the first quarter to the ending of the game. There were just some miscommunications that we had here and there, but we got that cleaned up. They did a great job. And I think what's overlooked is the run game. I think we did really good in the run game as well. We wanted to run the ball and we wanted to throw the ball, but we had to make some big plays when it needed to happen. So that's what we did.
You got 69 yards, you got 6 touchdowns. What does that do for your confidence doing that in this league?
Well, I would say I'm always, confident in what I can do, confident in myself. But, I think that just shows the resiliency of our team. It brings all our confidence up. Confidence in one another, confidence that if the offense has a turnover, that the defense is going to get us the ball back, and vice versa. So I think you look at the big picture of it, the confidence goes up for the team.
When were you aware Tyreek Hill was coming back in the end when you got the huddle?
I'm going to be honest. I didn't know that we weren't going to have Tyreek, we didn't have Tyreek out there for the first couple snaps. And I just found out that he had cramps. But, big time players make big time plays in big time games. And that's what Tyreek did when he came in.
You came to before the 60-yard touchdown, I think they didn't have any safety scheme. You come to the line, where you're going to be throwing the ball.
Well, Tyreek was first in the progression, but I think they busted that coverage. They were all up. It looked like it was going to be a zero look, and then they dropped out. So, I think that might have just been an error, but we found that and we took advantage of it.
What was the coach like with going through this whole up and down and sideways and everything that went on in this game? How do you keep you guys where you needed to be?
Mike told us this in our team meeting, that this is going to be a great opportunity for us, that if we ever do get down against these guys, that you're not looking to put your head down. We're always going to be in the game and just play one play at a time. And Mike is always going to say this, and this is kind of like the mindset for our team, is adversity is opportunity. And that's how we look at it.
What was said at 35-14 by him? Was that confidence?
Yeah, we were playing normal football still. We weren't doing anything out of the ordinary. Until they did give us opportunities to take shots down the field, then that's what we did. But normal play calls.
So you seem really calm for considering what you just accomplished. Have you processed it yet? What you just did out there?
Well, yeah, I would say I processed what we did out there. That's a big win. That's tough to come into a hostile environment like this and beat a really good team. We'll go enjoy it on the plane, and then when we get home. Yeah.
And so I just talked to Tyreek on the field, and he was so complimentary of you, and he also addressed the haters and people that have stuff to say about you. How big of a game is this for you personally? 6 touchdowns is massive.
Yeah, I would say for me, every game is a big game. I want to do good every time I go out there. I don't want to throw interceptions. I want to throw touchdowns. I want to put our team in the best situation that I possibly can. But we got to be real. Those guys on the other side of the ball get paid too, and they're really good players. They study, and all I can do is go out there and do what we've done throughout practice, and let's go and play football and hope that we can bring home a win.
Were you aware of what Lamar Jackson's doing on the other side?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my goodness, of course. How can you not watch someone like that? He had a great game as well. But yeah, I would say the resiliency of our team, had shown coming out of halftime, and with that big deficit of a lead that they had. So, thanks, guys.
There you go. There is Tua Tagovailoa, baby. The stud getting it done. Yeah. Whew, that is. By the way, can we kind of frost my ass? I got to say about this press conference. Stop asking Tua about his confidence. The guy came back from a hip injury. The guy comes off the bench for Alabama and wins a national effing title. The guy deals with Saban and a guy that hated him for 2 years in Brian Flores. He responds to everything. Stop asking him. You play scared. He doesn't. Why? Because you have no faith in him. And that's why you ask him these questions. Meanwhile, his resume says, I was a badass in high school. I was a badass in college. And the only reason you don't see me being a badass from the get-go is because I had to come back from a hip surgery and a shitty team. Stop asking him about his confidence. Stop asking him if he's concerned. Stop asking him if he's worried about a big game. These kind of dudes eat this shit up. That's who he is. Put me back here. We'll give me a second here. We'll get to Mike McDaniel in a second. Great players want to be put in positions of pressure. Great players don't shy away from pressure. Great players want to take the shot. Great players want to be in that pocket and make the throw. Great players love to come from behind. Great players love to be doubted. I get it. Those of you out there, you have a hard time understanding that Tua is great. Why? Because he's not built 6'5" and throws the ball through the stadium. Neither did Montana, neither did Drew Brees, neither did Bob Greasy, neither did Fran Tarkenton. But what the hell? I mean, you can't be great if you're not 6'5". Because, of course, it worked out so well for Drew Bledsoe and Ryan Leaf and Vince Young and all these other clowns that had a whole world of talent but didn't have the BBs, didn't have the toughness, didn't have the smarts, didn't have the accuracy, didn't have the discipline that kid has. That's why he comes back from wired ankles. That's why he comes back from a busted hip to play 9 months later only to get slammed by Michael Brockers because his stupid ass head coach chooses to put him in his first game ever against the Rams. What a turd bucket that guy is. So stop asking him about toughness. Stop asking him about pressure. Stop asking him about confidence. He doesn't lack any of that. It's you that lacks it. It's you that keeps questioning him. It's you that keeps saying that he can't play. It's you that says he has a noodle arm. You're the one that lacks confidence. You're the one that thinks he's going to cave into pressure. Meanwhile, all he's ever shown you is that he loves pressure. Like there isn't pressure to blow out your hip and get it ready for the combine to convince people so they can draft you. So then you get drafted and then you got to then build on your career. And you had no help whatsoever early on. Now's when he's getting help. Oh my God, he had a great game. Wow, it helps to have help. What a concept. What did we tell you? What did we tell you last year? What was it? They were saying it's coaching. They were saying it's this. They never mentioned they were saying it's Tua. They were mentioning the players. They were mentioning Chris Greer. It was Flo the entire time. It was his staff that was killing it. His dumbass got fired because he went 1-7 or 1-6, whatever the hell it was. That's why he got fired, not the second half. That front office knew they were better. And he failed. Because he kept failing on offense. Stop asking Tua about his confidence. It's like you don't see what's in front of you and you can't decipher it. But damn it, you can't be wrong. Why? Because he's not built like Justin Herbert. Yeah, that's right. He's got a heart. Yeah, he doesn't crumble in the fourth quarter like Justin Herbert. Yeah, you're right. He's not built like Justin Herbert. He's tougher. No, but you go ahead and worry about the arm because, of course, that worked out for Vince Young, having a great arm and running around. That's so fantastic. G-Firm, big ups to you, Big O. You never doubted it. Frankie Fresco, Tua can't see the receivers. Didn't the haters say, yeah, oh, no. And some people even learned about shorter quarterbacks not seeing down the field. Like, you know how stupid you sound when you actually, like, wondered about that? It shows how much you don't know the game. John C. And Tua's only being honest. And he shouldn't be that honest. He should lie to you guys. You're better off being lied to as a society. I think it's better that way sometimes. Really is. Because you can't handle the truth. Go get me Jack Nicholson. Topher, thank you. It's a damn shame Tua can't see over the O-line. There you go. Ricardo Joseph. He finally gave us that game, fins up. Best game in a while. Preferred over the Miami Miracle. Well, the Miami Miracle meant nothing. This means something because you're going to the playoffs. That's why. This means something. You're going to the playoffs. And by the way, for those of you that just tuned in and you're thinking, oh, he's crazy. I've been saying that for a while. I didn't just say this now. And I already had him winning this game, even though it didn't look like it in the first half, but it's all right. It's all right. Okay, let's get Mike McDaniel in there. Let's hear from the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. He addressed the meteors right there a few minutes ago. Let's hear what he's got to say. And by the way, one more time, Mike McDaniel, terrible half, buried in a huge deficit. In game 2 of the regular season, we found out what kind of coach he is and if his team would respond to him in difficult situations. So you were in a difficult situation in a sold-out stadium in Baltimore on the road against a very difficult team that you haven't won since 97. The test was passed, not just by Tua, but also Mike McDaniel. Let's hear from the coach.
Anybody else tired? What do you guys got? No, I mean, we've been talking about it. We just had a game where we were able to have the lead the whole game, and so I the night before I told the guys that I was really hoping that we'd get some adversity in this game, and like I want to see how we respond to a deficit, and apparently they just took me way too literal. But it was I called them out for like it was something that we all kind of expected. They're investing more than they ever have. They're really all in. And it was way disappointing. And so when you're down, the tendency is to kind of like hang your head and be like, and it's from a good spot, but that, I just challenged them to say that who cares what the score is? It's about how we play football together. So this is the opportunity. It's a tough one, but that doesn't even matter. Let's get something out of this game to feel good about in the second half, and we'll worry about the score sometime in the fourth quarter. But let's just string some stuff together on both sides of the ball. So they had a spirited effort, and And yeah, it was. I mean, it's all you talk about what it takes to be able to do something like that. It's an entire team of the right type of people, everyone echoing the same messages, and you have to get a little fortuitous. And shoot, I mean, all the credit goes to Baltimore for putting us in that bind. And then I had a lot of players make a lot of plays to get out of it. So that was very encouraging.
Especially when you get down right up the opening kickoff and you get back into the game, and then you get a gut punch again, and kind of kept going back. You kind of creep up and then get back down again. Did doubt ever creep into your mind at any point?
No, it wasn't. But it wasn't. You know, I didn't have time to doubt anything. I was just, you know, kind of absorbing what was happening in the first half. And so then I just didn't care about the outcome of the game at that point. At halftime, I just wanted us to, you know, it was a huge opportunity for us to show who we are and play good football for each other. And yeah, then once, but the whole process, I was just worried about us playing good football. Once we got within 2 scores, I felt pretty solid about it. And then, you know, the way the NFL game is played, when you have momentum swings like that, you know, I've been on the opposite end of leads given up. So you feel really confident once you start coming back. A lot of times that falls short because you don't have complementary football. I think, what was it? I think the last 4 offensive drives we had were touchdowns, and I think in that span there was 3 points given up. That's complementary football when your team needs to do it the most. And a lot of guys, it doesn't happen without a complete effort by everyone to press forward. And, you know, guys care about the Dolphin product, so it was a pretty exciting moment.
What does a game like this do for Tua and that offense's confidence in Tua?
No, now maybe Tua will finally listen to me. And what I mean by that is, like, I've said it to you guys before, but, like, it's awesome to be critical of yourself. It is good. You know, he has a high standard for himself. But, you know, just after the first game, I just wanted to see the guy enjoy playing football and understand that, yes, you want to make the perfect read and the perfect throw every time. But who cares? If you just get better at one thing a game, you're going to be pretty good at the end of the season. So let's just press forward. Well, the absolute worst thing could have happened at the beginning of the game for him, where we get a contested ball. It's not really his fault. I know Tyreek will say he should catch that, the first interception, and then he starts pressing and throws it up for a second interception. So you would want to talk about everything we talk about and how coachable the guy is. And I mean, this is huge because he stopped worrying about the last play and he went and played and took his responsibility serious to his teammates about, hey, I'm going to lead this team confidently. It is what you get into sports for. It is as cool for the coaching staff and him. Like it was coming to life. I think it was a moment that he'll never forget, that hopefully he can use moving forward, because we didn't have the strongest. We basically had to play perfect complementary football to come back from a deficit like that against a really good team. So I couldn't be happier for him, and his teammates know. His teammates learned a lot about him, and I think he learned. His teammates learned a lot about him, and I think he learned something about himself.
Were you surprised when Tyreek came back?
No, I'm never surprised with anything Tyreek. He, by the way, he came out with a cramp, I think. He was still running fast. He's crazy.
How about the performance of Lamar on the other side? He really struggled against you guys last year. Realized you weren't the coach then, but he really put up some numbers.
Yeah.
Pretty good game.
No, and credit to them. Both sides of the ball knew what happened last game. They both knew that there would be different preparation, and our defense knew that they couldn't surprise the guys. And to his credit, he took advantage. I mean, he definitely rectified. He can put to bed those issues that he had last year, because everybody gets frustrated when that happens. But we knew as an organization that you don't get to be where the Baltimore Ravens are as an organization, how well coached they are, and just that the organization in general, without getting that fixed. So we knew it wasn't going to be the same formula. They did happen. Some situations did come up where we audibled to some of the pressures, and they took advantage of it. So good for them. So we kept, that's to their credit. They did a great job with that, and I'm just happy that the guys got this learning experience. And fortunately, you can end up winning the game as well. But I know our guys learned a lot from this game, which we need to moving forward.
Last week you said that you would have thought Jalen would play a larger part of the game plan. Was it a concerted effort this time around to make sure he was involved early?
Yeah, no, it wasn't early. It was just involved. There was some, I just didn't know how Jalen was going to respond in that first game. I didn't want to get greedy and overuse him, and this game I was a lot less worried about that. But we basically have a lot of good, talented, skill position players at all positions, so we'll always try to utilize all the dudes. And it was good to get him going early, because we are pretty different when he's making plays. I didn't realize it was 19 targets. Yes. Yeah, we were trying to utilize him, I guess, huh? But good for him and good for all the guys.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
There you go. Good stuff for the head. I feel good for him, because talking about hitting adversity, it doesn't get any worse than that first half. You open up the game, you give up the big return for a touchdown, you make the mistakes, you give up big ass plays. X had some shady coverage with Duvernay, and I don't know, there was some, it looked like he was kind of off of, I don't know what the hell was going on. And it was just bad, man. And then you had the turnovers. Nothing was going well in that first half. And it was funny how he says, and they took me literal. But it's nice to see that you can go to Baltimore. By the way, the Dolphins are 2-0, and they haven't played great football yet. Let me repeat that again. The Dolphins are 2-0, and they haven't played great football yet. They have not put together 4 quarters of complimentary football, clean football, where they can run the ball, they can pass the ball, they defend well, they balance. Has not happened. It was a mission last week. They couldn't run the ball at pretty much throughout the game. They can only pass. They gave up some stuff. It was tough. It was tough, right? And they controlled that game. Luckily, that offense wasn't great. So, all right. But you're fine. You don't have a great offense. All right. This week was even worse. Okay, last week you struggled only running the ball, right? You controlled the other team. This week, my God, the first half, everything went wrong. And then everything went right in the second half. So you haven't yet put together 4 quarters of great football. Because, boy, we had a ton of complaints after winning, which, again, baffling to me. I love how we just take for granted that Bill Belichick has become to his bitch. Right? No, he's 4-0. That game doesn't matter. They're not that good. Oh, okay, all right. Okay, now you're going to Baltimore. Okay, now you'll get your ass kicked. Okay, well, guess what? They were getting their ass kicked in the first half, and then they did the ass kicking in the second half. So what do you got to say now? So remember to tell people when they tell you, well, this, that, whatever. Okay, dude, the Dolphins are 2-0 and they haven't played great football yet. That's all I know yet. So if that line ever figures it out, if they get that running game going, if the defense wants to be consistent, scary. Oh, and by the way, special teams. Let's not give up a return for a touchdown. That might help you out there. It's so far, when you look at it, it's pretty cool. There's been different things that have gone along the way in this short time here, right? From training camp and the bonding to the scrimmages, which as Dolphin fans, you all know, all over the world, doesn't matter where you live, if you live in Singapore or if you live in Portugal or in Canada or Mexico or our friends in Puerto Rico, I hope you're doing all right in there with the storm. But, we hear about all these scrimmages. Oh, the Dolphins got handled. All that didn't happen this year. Dolphins did the handling. They frustrated the crap out of Brady. They outplayed the Eagles. Well, we all thought they outplayed the Eagles, except for Danny Cannell, who I don't know what the hell he was watching. But most of us that actually were watching and paying attention, they dominated the Eagles in practice, and then they dominated in the game, which was kind of no surprise because they did pretty well. So you look at it, they've been prepared for everything. Belichick came into town trying to poison Tua. Did not work. He came into town trying to place mics all over the place and cameras. Didn't work. He left with a loss. Only Robert Kraft enjoyed his 5 days here because he hung out at the Asian Day Spa. And now comes the Ravens. And think about this. Okay, the first half didn't go your way. But to go back into that locker room and for that team to come out of that locker room, that's awesome. That's awesome. Blade Runner, thank you, my friend. A young QB. Oh, put that back again. A young QB coming into his own with support from the head coach and the front office putting on a capable team around him. What a concept. 2-0, baby. Exactly. Thank you, my friend. AJ141, thank you. This feels different about the Fins. So refreshing. Of course, you got a real coach. You got a real quarterback now. Juice F5. McDaniel looks like Mark Anthony. Frankie says Flores would have benched 2 at half. Keep doubting. That's funny. That's funny. And you know the Tua haters, right? They were by halftime, they were blaming Tua for everything. Well, hey, I know the defense is not playing well and special teams and this, that, but no, Tua's not the guy. By the end of the game, that same dude was like, oh, God, oh, wow, bro, this guy's pretty awesome. Manny J. Snow says the hidden golden nugget in this game were the halftime adjustments by the coaching staff. Just saying, yeah. And the defense manned up, man. They played. And then you put Lamar Jackson in a position that he can't be in. Be a real quarterback. Become a real passer. And that's where he craps in his pants every single time. But that's all right. Oh, by the way, I had the Lamar Jackson people at halftime. Where are all the Lamar Jackson people now? Well, how come you're not showing up there, tough guys? I don't go anywhere. I'm here. Cy Love All says, Fem all, or F them all, I'm sorry. F them all, Tua forever. I like it. Let me see what we got here on the Cash App and Venmo, because I know you guys have been sending it in also on the Cash App and Venmo. I got to check the Welt and Rayom text line, too, at 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Let's see. Where is it here? I always get confused how to look them up. Here we go. Rosendo, thank you, sir. Dean Gramesty, thank you also for the love on the Venmo. Deborah Bond, thank you for the love on the Venmo. Remember, it's Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show also is a way that you guys can make a donation. All right, can we do this? Give me a 1 minute break here. You know, we don't take a lot of commercial breaks, but let me rest the voice for 1 minute here. We'll get our insiders, Cameron Wolf and Marcel Louis Jacques, on. So we'll break it down with them right back on the other side, right here on the successful Miami Dolphins postgame show on the Sports Talk 305 network.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. If you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Sports Talk 305 Network is back. It's time to talk Miami Dolphins football with the greatest fan base in the world. This is the Miami Dolphins Postgame Show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. Here's your host, the Big O.
All righty, the EJDconstruction.com post-game show. Yes, sir. And don't forget, you got to call the great folks at EJD Construction, proud sponsors of our program and, of course, proud sponsors of the post-game show. Go to the website, EJDconstruction.com, and they do it all. We're not talking about a handyman. We're talking about full construction, baby. Major home remodeling, fully licensed and insured. 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com. All right, I love it. Very honestly, I was critical of Tua in the first half. Every play looked like a pass, even from Chan Gailey era, but somehow happened. The kid deserved it. He's always been around adversity. Well, here he has. It's been terrible. You know, he's dealt with the injury stuff over in Alabama, but he was incredibly productive there at Alabama, and he's a money player, man. And that's what you saw here. It's just a matter of these kind of dudes have to adjust to the game the way it is, because their game is more about being cerebral, ball placement, anticipation, accuracy, those kind of. He has more than enough arm to play in the game. Okay, he can throw bombs, he can complete them. That's not the issue with the kid. That's the silliness that goes on. You know, you heard Fitzpatrick this week. There were some things that I agreed with him, but the one thing he would say, well, he's not going to be able to make plays off script. Well, guess what? You saw him spin and complete. That's off script. He can make plays off script. Okay, now, do you want him doing that all the time? No, Fitzy. That's how you get in trouble, my brother. When you live off script, my brother. That's your problem, Fitz. You've lived off script, Fitz. You want real coaching, real timing. You want to be playing on target the way you're supposed to play. You play off script when you have to, when you have no choice, when the play is broken down. That's when you do the spin and you go find somebody. That's the problem with it. There's the interpretation and then the agenda always kind of drives the opinion. All right, let's get to it, baby. You know, Tua had the edge today. Oh, did he bring the edge? Yes, sir. MyEdgeEnergyDrink.com, the finest energy drink on the planet. Use our code Big O. You will get 10% off. Can't buy it in stores. Hey, listen, when I tell you it's delicious, zero aftertaste, okay? I'm telling you, folks, smooth, delicious, zero aftertaste, only 78 calories. Order it. Support the great people that support us at Edge Energy Drink. Go to myedgedrink.com and use our code Big O. You're gonna love me after you try that energy drink. You're probably gonna drop whatever energy drink you drink right now. Now let's go with the man with a ton of energy, Marcel Louis-Jacques from ESPN. Let's go with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins post-game report.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's ESPN Dolphin Insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
There he is. Look at that. Looking all dapper and everything. Wow.
You know, I try, man. I do my best. My best.
I'm glad you got dressed for our show. That's awesome. I'm honored that you dressed up for us. That's awesome.
Come on, man. Right? You know, it's game day. It's game day on the road.
Yep.
Obviously still at the stadium. You know, can't leave the scene of a crime right now because there's a murder scene on the 50-yard line right now. There's some caution tape around the field. A couple Ravens were killed today. So,
yeah.
You know, I might need to stick around and bear witness and write up a report. Police report.
You can stack those Ravens on top of all the Herbert lovers, Lamar Jackson lovers, the Deshaun Watson lovers, the Tua haters. It's a, you know, we don't have mountains here. As you've learned now, Marcel, our mountains are piles of garbage, right? That you drive around, you'll see those dump sites. Those are our mountains. Well, that's the pile of crap that's been loaded up on Tua. There's a lot of people hurting, bro. I mean, in the last 4 days, they were brought down to the Herbert reality and the Tua reality. And boy, I got to tell you, there's some shell-shocked people walking around right now.
Look, I'll say this, man. I'll say this. Take nothing away from Lamar Jackson today. Because if you look at the numbers, the Ravens' offense was still excellent. Lamar Jackson was still damn near perfect today. He was perfect through the first half of football.
Until it became a playoff game, and then they needed a real quarterback.
I'm not going to sit here.
And the front runner couldn't do it. But go ahead.
I'm not going to sit here and say that Lamar Jackson is the reason why the Baltimore Ravens didn't win this game. Yeah. Miami got timely stops in the fourth quarter, and Miami's offense was unstoppable. Tyreek Hill did exactly what I said that they would do before the game. When I said I got the Dolphins, the secondary's banged up all week, I said you don't want to be nursing, soft tissue injuries against guys that can stretch the field like that. Eventually, it's going to take its course, and it did. But this is not Lamar Jackson's fault or loss. I think that, worlds can exist where multiple players can just do well without taking anything away from another. Tua can have an excellent game without taking anything away from Lamar. Tua and Lamar can both be great without taking it away from Herbert.
Baltimore couldn't stop Tua, yet Miami stopped Lamar. I don't know. That's what happened at the end of the game, my brother. That's the bottom line. Tua figured out, and Mike McDaniel, Tua and the offensive coordinator, figured out the Ravens, and they couldn't stop him. And then when push came to shove and they needed Lamar and he wasn't front running anymore, now the pressure, dude, this is the same thing that happens to him in the playoffs every year. He does nothing in the playoffs. This is a regular season offense. But it's all right. People fall for the fantasy numbers and all that crap. But in the end, when push comes to shove, he gets shoved to the sidelines every single time because that running bullshit and everything that he pulls, that's great for front running. But when push comes to shove and you got to be a quarterback, he ain't a quarterback. That's the bottom line. He's still an athlete playing the position that will wow you.
He ran for 120 yards. He threw for 303 scores. Like he completed what's 21 of 29. I don't do the math here. I can look up the actual number. 21 to 29 passes.
Ton of stats for years, and what's he got to show for all those stats, bro? With a good defense, what's he got to show with all those stats?
Baltimore,
MVP
outside of Lamar Jackson, did nothing. When you look at their rushing totals outside of Lamar, and really outside of that 79-yard run, Justice Hill, 3 carries, 16 yards. Kenyon Drake, 6 carries, 8 yards. Mike Davis, 5 carries for 4 yards. Like the Dolphins defense played well outside of anytime Lamar Jackson touched the ball. Like he is the only reason why the Ravens got out to that big lead. Like this is not his loss. And also considering looking at the numbers here,
I'm not saying it's his loss. I'm just saying
it's not his fault.
I'm just saying it's the same thing that happens every time. He can't bail you out in tough situations like that. That's not who he is. He's just not a passer, dude. It's just not. He's a great athlete that will wow you. But listen, I don't care about Lamar. It's not Lamar's day, okay? It's Tua's day, bro. It's Tua, the man that stepped up. It's Tua, the one that is shutting a lot of people up. And you weren't one of the haters. So congratulations to you because you're allowed on the bandwagon. So
look,
congratulations.
I'm still not willing to say like he is. I'm not calling Tua top 10, top 5 in the NFL right now. I said he was him on Twitter, meaning like he is that dude today, man. Like you don't just throw for 470 and 6 touchdowns, down 28-7 if you're a bum that can't throw the deep ball. Saying that he is him is directed at people who it's directed at the people who hate. It's directed at the people who disrespect, who say that he's not capable of doing X, Y, Z. He clearly is capable of moving the ball downfield. He is capable of taking care of the football. And most importantly, what he had not shown prior to today, he is capable of winning you a game. He is capable of being the reason you win a game. Not somebody who doesn't hurt you, not someone who just takes care of the ball, not someone who makes a couple plays. He, for the first time, when asked, hey, we need you to win this for us, he did it.
Can you do me a favor? Can we stop doing something in the media? Stop asking this dude about confidence. Like, these kind of dudes live off of this shit. Now, I don't think that's what people don't understand. Great players love these moments. That kid's never lacked confidence. You don't bust your hip up and repair it in 9 months and get ready to play NFL football when you lack confidence. When you lack toughness, that guy, all he does is prove that he's tough mentally, physically. This guy, all he does is prove that he loves these kind of moments. This is who he's been his whole career in high school and college. And now people are seeing it in the NFL because they've got competence around him now. They actually added like offensive minds. They added talent and stuff like that. To me, that's the part I laugh at. I was talking about this before you came on. It's the people that lack confidence in him are the ones that keep asking that same question that he has overcome his entire life.
I got to talk to Tyreek at his store opening about a month ago, right? And I asked him, look, man, you're talking to me about Jake Paul, about how he's different than you thought he would be. Like, what about the quarterback you keep praising? Like, what is different about him that maybe the public doesn't know? And the first thing he said, which I would know if you read my story, the first thing he said was, Tua is low-key cocky. Like, he's the kind of guy who, once he gets into that zone, everybody's got that zone. You ever been in, middle and elementary school when you hit shots on the blacktop and you hit your first 3 and you can't miss? When Tua gets into that kind of zone, he said that there's nothing that he can't do on the football field. And yeah, he was throwing to wide open receivers today, but I thought he couldn't throw the deep ball. I thought he couldn't. He would underthrow Tyreek, right? I thought he's going to leave him hanging, and it's going to be incomplete, right? That's what.
By the way, he threaded some in tight corners, in tight places too. He completed one inside with 4 dudes around him. That was a big ass play in one of the drives. He made tight throws too at the same time, not just open guys.
Like I was saying, I thought that he was not able to make those throws. That is what people were told, right? That's what everybody was told. That's what my mentions all said. Entering this year, who cares if Tyreek? He's going to be running for days, and then look behind him, and the ball's going to fall 20 yards behind. Like they were tired. They were tired criticisms, about his arm strength. If you want to criticize his arm strength, talk about throwing to the sticks. Talk about throwing to the sideline. Don't talk about an ability to throw deep, because he can throw the damn ball forward. It's not that hard to do for an NFL quarterback. Who is an NFL quarterback? Who is an NFL starter? I just think we asked Jalen Waddle if he sent a message to the locker room today. And he's like, look, it's good that y'all saw it. It's good that everybody else saw it, but we already knew we could do this. We expect him to do that. So it's just not something that we've seen from him in years past. It's not something we've seen from him in games past. It's not something we've seen from this Dolphins offense in games past. A 2-score deficit was a death sentence last year.
Yeah.
28-7 last year. I'm filing at halftime, and I might go to the hotel. I might go back home.
This is the best performance by a quarterback since Marino. Okay?
Look, man.
Since Marino.
Fourth quarter alone.
Yeah.
13 of 17, 199 yards, 4 touchdowns. And beyond obviously the eye-popping stats there, the yards and the touchdowns, 17 attempts in the fourth quarter. They put the ball in that man's hand. He threw the ball 50-some odd times today. They put the ball in his hands as soon as they got the ball back at halftime and said, go win us the game. And he did. I don't want to hear about excuses. I don't want to hear about this, that, and the third. I don't want to hear.
There are no excuses. There are no excuses. They're only facts, bro. They're only facts.
It's just, look, it is kind of incredible to try to pick apart a 470-yard, 6-touchdown performance, man. Somebody told me, Mitch Trubisky had a 6-touchdown game too. Yeah, in a blowout win over the Buccaneers that finished 27th in passing yards that year and 31st in points allowed.
Hey, listen.
It wasn't a 3-score deficit in Baltimore.
I've explained this before, and I get smirks, and I did it the other day in the press room, and, I kind of felt the vibe in the press room, and it's all right because I'll have the last laugh, and it's all good, bro. And the problem is in the media and fans, we have too many size queens, and the problem is there isn't a lot of perspective, and everything is video games and fantasy football, and you think that every quarterback is 6'5" and can throw the ball through the stadium. Meanwhile, Montana could never do that. He's exactly what I say Tua is Montana. They're the same player, actually. They can't have people draped on them. They can't throw 80 yards downfield. They don't have guns. They're not big athletes. He's Drew Brees. He's Fran Tarkenton. These kind of dudes have an adjustment they have to make at the NFL level. Where it goes, it is what it is. But the guys that are super gifted, as long as you're accurate and you have anticipation skills, you're going to make an easier transition. The guys that don't have those gifts, that don't stand 6'5", the guys that don't have a rifle of an arm, they have to learn anticipatory skills at this level because the windows close faster than they did in college and they did in high school. So it took Drew Brees into his 4th season for the light to really go on and figure it out. Fran Tarkenton, it took him a couple years. Montana made a quick transition because Walsh was a really good coach, and he kind of kept the short passing game early on for Montana, so it really helped him out with the talent that he had until he got Rice and Taylor. That's what I keep telling people. Tua's talent is perfect for this league, but there's an adjustment that he has to make in anticipatory skills because this game is faster than the one he just left. So it's just one of those things that you have to fine-tune. Once you fine-tune it, you're going to do the stuff that he did today. And that's what I try to explain to people. Stop thinking that everybody has to be built like Justin Herbert or Vince Young or Dan Marino or whatever. They're not all built like big-ass buildings that can run like deers.
Yeah, look, Brian Fitzpatrick said it very well on I think it was the McAfee show that Tua's got to be able to, his accuracy and his decision making and his anticipation have to be better than anybody else in the league. Because like physically, look, man, y'all can take this how you take it. Physically, no one is confusing Tua's strengths for a top 10 quarterback in the league. Physically, he's not. He's 6 foot.
Neither was Breeze. Neither was Montana. Let's just get that straight.
Yeah, you don't have to be. Yeah. You don't have to be. But
exactly.
You need something. If you like, you don't have that kind of blue chip physical trait, then you need some other elite skill in order to push you forward into that category. And so that's what, like I said, man, you still have to make those throws. The clutch gene is there. At the end of the day, stop playing with that man. You got to respect him at the end of the day. Respect him for this performance. This is a career game. And like I said before, I said all last season, look, I need to see with my own eyes that Tua can win his team a game. Not can win with the team, but that Tua could be the driving factor, the driving reason why Miami wins the game. We saw that today for the first time. Now, the honeymoon, the celebratory period, 24 hours. There's got to be 24 hours, maybe even less. Because if you listen real closely, you can hear Debo's bike squeaking around the corner. The neighborhood bullies coming to town. The two-time reigning AFC East champs are coming to town. We'll see what they look like tomorrow. See what they look like tomorrow. There's no Bills luck. It's the respect.
I don't need to hear your Bills.
I don't need to be cut off. It's the respect. You lost 7 of 8 to that team. You lost 7 of 8. You want to prove something? You want to take the next step? You want to take the next step? Yes, it is. Yes, it is the time.
It's not the time to talk about the Bills right now, my brother.
We have time because who do they play in week 3?
We have all week to talk about
who they play in week 3.
We have all week.
This is great. This is great. But you know what? This is one win. It's one win. You need more. Go get the next one.
Look at him.
Because it's not going to be easy.
Look at him coming with a big-ass tank of water and just dousing the Dolphin fire with Bill's love.
Let's keep it real. Who gives a shit about this game if you lose to Buffalo and can't win the AFC East?
Now this game doesn't matter. Now this
Who
is not
cares?
a game.
It is important, but it's not getting you in the playoffs. Beating Buffalo next week would be bigger than beating the Ravens this week.
Actually, you're wrong. There's 17 games in the season. They can lose both of the Bills games and still win 15. So I think you're not really good at math. You can still make the playoffs and lose to both Bills games and then beat the Bills ass in the playoffs.
Let's see it happen. I'm saying I love this. I'm saying this is impressive. This is something to be happy about. Go beat Buffalo next week. And nobody's going to have any criticism of your team.
Hot sauce now coming in here.
I swear to God, I'm going to hang up next time I get cut off. Go beat the reigning champ, and nobody is criticizing you anymore. Nobody's questioning you anymore. There are no skeptics. There are no
wait a minute.
coming in here talking about bad defense and backups and this and that. You beat them next week,
wait a minute.
All of a sudden, we're having a whole new conversation about the front runner in the division.
Okay, but let's get realistic now. Did you really think they were going to overtake the Bills within the first month of the season? Really? Honestly? That's a team that's being built for 5 years now. Mike McDaniel just started.
I have said
and he picked up the worst offense in the NFL.
I've said all offseason that those games last year were closer than the final score suggested. I've said all offseason that I think this is the year that they split. Stephen Ross, when introducing the damn coach, said we need to beat the Bills.
A moment. You're just a negative Nelly here, bro.
Hey, yeah, right.
We're trying to enjoy a great moment, an amazing comeback, and now you got to come with, well, it don't matter. You got to beat the Bills.
Hey, look, I know that you're excited. I'm not a Dolphins fan. I'm not a Bills fan. Like I'm not happy, sad, excited. I had a fun time at work today, but like this is the difference between me and y'all. Like I'm not gonna go to bed smiling and giddy tonight. Like I had a good day at work.
I don't know, bro. I think you're sleeping in Bills pajamas. I think you got some. I think you got some Buffalo Bills pajamas that you sleep in.
My thing is, like,
you might have some Buffalo Bills underwears and socks on right now or something.
Hey, my thing is, I don't care. I don't care with nobody in those. I'm sure that the comments are a lot of fun right now. I'm not reading them. I don't care about y'all like that. It doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm keeping it a buck with you. This is great. This is a great first step to solidifying your place in the AFC East. But I bet you go down to that team bus right now. That's what they're talking about. I just got back from the locker room, not y'all. Y'all just got back from the kitchen grabbing your third helping of chicken dip.
Hey,
I just got back from the locker room. I'm telling y'all what they're talking about right now. And they're talking about the Buffalo Bills coming to town next week.
All right.
So, look, man.
You're circling the wagons. We got you.
Y'all can be mad. Y'all can cry. Y'all can type mean things. Y'all can do. That's fine. You're in the living room, and I'm coming from where I'm coming from, and I am telling you what is being discussed in that locker room right now.
Any truth that you're staying at Chris Berman's house this week?
It's too far out, man. You know, I got to stay closer to the city. Plus, I got my dog, man. I can't bring him over there. Chris don't like dogs.
I don't know. You going fishing with Josh Allen on Tuesday? Is that what I heard? Look at that. God bless. All right, follow him on Twitter. You know, even though he loves the Bills, follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. Remind him how much the Bills suck and how much you're going to get crushed this weekend. Okay, he is Marcel Louis-Jacques. We still love him, even though he loves the Bills. Clearly.
Like I said, I do not care. I'm going to tell y'all what it is right now. This is a great win. This is a great win. Tua just showed something that he's never shown before. I called Tua him on the internet today. Y'all gonna get me in trouble for dropping the F-bomb. I called him on the internet. I've had nothing but positive things to say about Tua. So I don't want to hear none of this shit hitter in the sky. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit. But I'm gonna tell you what it is right now. You want to know what's next, because this is what we do. You know, we look forward. This is not we're not going to be looking at week 2 for the rest of the year. We're looking forward.
Marcel Louis-Jacques opening up an Anchor Bar right next to the stadium.
Anchor Bar is trash.
Follow him on Twitter, Marcel.
You're going to disrespect me. I know you're going to disrespect me, but still fucking respect me.
I love you, bro, but I'm just here to bust your balls. So that's what I do with all of you. So it's my job. You know what I'm saying? But we love you, you Buffalo Bill loving fan. We'll see you later in the week, okay?
I will see y'all tomorrow.
All right, that's Marcel.
Be better tomorrow, everybody. Be fucking better.
myedgedrink.com. Use our code Big O. Get 10% off. Delicious, smooth, zero aftertaste. The finest energy drink on the planet. Check it out right there. myedgedrink.com. Use our code Big O. You
now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Report featuring ESPN's Marcel Louis-Jacques. Get the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste. You can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com.
Well, this man has been very sensible with Tua, okay? And you know, by the way, I'll give Marcel love. He's been cool with Tua, you know, but this Buffalo crap he brought in at the end, that's just, come on, bro. We're having a good day today. I don't want to hear about the stinking Bills. I'll watch the boys take care of the Bills next week. Right now, we're talking about laughing at the Ravens, laughing at Justin Herbert fans. You know, that's what we're talking about. Okay? So let's get to our KSDT CPA. Miami Dolphins post-game report with the one and only Cameron Wolf.
We unleash the Wolf Pack. As we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolf.
There he is. All right, you're not going to start talking Titans or anything now. Also, just like our last guest there, Marcel, I had to try to douse this whole thing after a beautiful performance by Tua and the second half on the team, right?
I was listening, man, and you guys at the last 5 minutes of that interview was almost as entertaining as as the last 2 minutes of the game. It was pretty hilarious. But nah, man,
dude, between this game and Purdue Syracuse yesterday, right? I don't know if you watched it, but Aronde Gadsden's kid had 2 touchdowns in the game winner, and they scored 42 points in the fourth quarter. So to watch what the two in the offense did in the fourth quarter, that was a lot of fun today, man. That was really good. And before I get to Tua and all this and that, it only took game 2, Cam, because everybody talked about, Mike McDaniel, yeah, he's a real jokester. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, wait till the shit hits the fan. Then I want to see how those jokes and everything else works out for him. This, that. Well, game 2, my brother. The first half, the shit hit the fan because that was one of the worst first halves I've ever seen in my life. Josh Boyer was pulling Homer Simpson, disappearing inside the bush. I mean, it was Bat X was not covering, Tua turnovers, this, that. I mean, everything that could, the return, everything that could possibly go wrong. And then they go into the half, and I even tweeted out, I said, we're going to find out about Mike McDaniel here right away. Guess what, dude? Test was passed.
Yeah, I thought it was fun hearing Tyreek describe Mike McDaniel's play calling after their game. Said it was like he was playing Madden with us playmakers. I think that, this is a win that they do not win any other year that Tua is the quarterback here. Not last year, not the year before. And so it's a testament to Tua growing as a quarterback. It's a testament to making a trade for Tyreek Hill, who changes the offense completely. It's a testament to a coach, the coach who on the offensive side of the ball, they could have easily packed it in and, padded their stats and didn't really, but they went for it and they didn't quit. And even the defense, they got dominated. It was ugly in the first half. Second half pretty much shut down the Ravens. And so you can't do that if they don't, turn the tide. So I think this was probably the best win that I've ever seen the Dolphins have in my 4 years covering the team. The best quarterback performance I certainly have seen happen. And it's interesting. I actually saw
Dan Marino, bro.
It's funny. I was going there. I saw Dan Marino in the locker room, and he stopped me, and he said, "Man, that was so exhilarating. It felt like I was out there." And I told him, "It looked like you were out there." So it was pretty fun for everyone. I was standing on this in the tunnel, going out to the field to do my post-game interview with like 2 minutes left. So I got to see the whole 2-minute drive in the tunnel from field level. And standing right to my right was Chris Greer and Brandon Shore. And so if you know a little bit about Chris Greer and Brandon Shore, they're very, internal people. They don't show a lot of emotion. I'll tell you what, when they caught that Jalen Waddle touchdown, they turned to each other and gave each other the biggest hand slap that I've seen and a huge smile. I told Chris, I've covered you for 4 years, the most emotion I've ever seen out of you. And so this win, like it's week 2, right? And so I do think that Marcel has some good perspective. It's just week 2. But I think this win means a lot for everyone. It means a lot for Tua, even though he's very humble and saying it means, so we win. It means a lot for Tua. I talked pregame about how this game could help answer that question that everybody asks. Is Tua the franchise quarterback here? Well, if you're basing it off this game, it's a resounding yes, right? Because how many other quarterbacks in the league can go for 467 and 6 touchdowns against the Ravens? I don't care if you're talking about, the Ravens busted the coverage or they have Tyreek or this and that. That's a super quarterback performance. And I think that Tua deserves his flowers for that. Just as much as we would have criticized him if the game would have ended at the halftime and he threw the 2 interceptions and they lost 28-7 and that was the game, we would have roasted him. And that would have been rightfully so because he played poorly in the first half. The Dolphins played poorly. But the second half, that was one of the best halves of quarterback football I've ever seen in person in my life. And so I think that deserves a lot of praise. Now, can they couple it? Can they continue to roll? But I think we learned a lot from this Dolphins team and their potential and what they can be. Because last week they won, and it was a defense that won them the game. This week it was Tua and the offense that won it.
Yeah, no, listen, that's what I love about this. And also if there was any doubts, right, on the team or whatever, this should seal it. But going back to your Chris Greer comment, this is what I believe. I believe Chris Greer, Marvin Allen, and Reggie McKenzie never was shying away from this plan of theirs. They have their plan. They're the football people. Okay? I don't believe none of them wanted to bail on Tua. I believe the Watson and Brady stuff all came from the periphery.
Right.
And what is happening now is the justification for this front office finally. Because the problem is you cannot do your job in any workplace if you have people constantly in your way creating problems for you to do your job. And that's the problem that's been going on in this franchise for Tua, whether it's Flores not having the coach that didn't want him from the get-go and was pretty much wanting anybody else, or you're Chris Greer that you're trying to build a team, but then you've got two idiot owners that are going behind the scenes trying to go recruit Brady, and then you've got this pissed off coach that didn't get Jordan Love, so now he wants to go get somebody else. And then it just creates a problem for you. And Chris Greer had to deal with, he signs Eric Flowers and then the coach makes him, get rid of him and take a cap hit, and Kyle Van Noy and all those other things that happen. So for him, this plan is now starting to come together. And as you know, minorities aren't given a lot of second chances. And they got lucky that they were able to overcome the Flores mistake to make this second chance. And now if they go and have success, it is so big for those three guys to move on and have success as a front office. So I think that's what you're seeing, kind of a volcano of things that have built up for Chris Greer. And that's the emotion you probably saw there,
Right.
at that point.
And I think for me personally, I love when teams just go for it. Like they take risks. They don't take the safe way out, right? So like this is a franchise that they haven't made the right decisions always, right? Tua was a risk. Tua coming off an injury, all that he was, drafting him has been a risk. And if you ask most folks, they've said the risk has not paid off so far. That's just the honest truth. Most people would say that, hey, that's been a mistake. You should have taken Justin Herbert. You made a mistake. It's going to cost people their jobs, right? And so far, Justin Herbert has looked like the better quarterback. People might have said that was a risk trading for Tyreek Hill, right? You trade a first and second round pick for a franchise that still hasn't solidified for 100% sure if their quarterback's the right guy. Is that the right move? Some people might say it's not, right? But this win, and I don't want to make it more than what it was. It's a regular season win, but this win sort of validates your risk, saying, hey, this is what we envisioned when we made these two decisions. When we decided to draft Tua, when we decided to trade for Tyreek Hill, when we decided to draft Jalen Waddle at number 6. These are franchise-defining risky moves, and we are seeing the potential of our fruition together. And so to me, that's a dope element. Now, will we see closer to the potential throughout the regular season, or is this the peak? I hope it's not the peak. This was a heck of a peak if it is, but I hope that this is a sign of what's to come. But I do think that there's a lot of people who, whether they admit it or not, are going to spend these next 24 hours feeling really good about themselves, relishing this moment, because it's what they all envisioned when they started to put this thing together.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. And I think when you start to look, how about Josh Boyer, dude? Josh Boyer was being by halftime. People had him fired. Go hire Flo. It's like, they were quick to get off the bandwagon, really quick. Hell, Mario Cristobal only took 6 quarters to get booed. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why when you look at that at this situation, Boyer was another guy that, as Shaka Khan used to sing, through the fire. Well, Mike McDaniel, Tua, Josh Boyer, guys that kind of went through the fire today.
Right. Absolutely. I actually talked to Josh Boyer briefly after the game in the locker room, and he kind of gave me the woo look, like, hey, that first half, it was like the look like, hey, that first half, I'm not going to lie to you, but he said that our guys always fight. And he was like, it's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be like, the shutdown defensive day we want, but our guys fight. And I learned that about us in a way that maybe he knew, maybe he didn't know before. But I think that, like I said, there's a lot of people who deserve praise in this. First and foremost, Tua. Secondly, Mike McDaniel and Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. But there's a lot of unsung heroes here today. Landon Roberts making a stop on 4th down in the first half. Was it the first half or second half? Lamar Jackson is coming down.
Second half. Yeah.
They had an 11-minute drive. They came through and they got to the 4th and goal or 3rd and goal, and they scored a touchdown, right? In theory. And they reviewed it, and Landon Roberts stopped them about 3 inches short. And they fumble the next play, and that's the difference between a touchdown and a turnover on downs. That's a play that defines this game. You might not win. You two might not get a chance to come back if it's a 4-touchdown lead instead of a 3-touchdown lead, right? And then you got the Dolphins offensive line. How much have we talked about how bad that offensive line is? They gave up no sacks today. The only sack was a tight end bust where they had Durham Smythe trying to block Justin Houston and missed the block. That's the only sack. It was a bad play. It was a really bad play. But that's the only sack all day. And this is a Dolphins offensive line where you have Teron Armstead with a messed up toe. He's playing hurt. He's not 100%. He left the stadium in a walking boot. That's how badly it's hurt, but he's going to push through it. He's going to continue to fight through it. And then you got Greg Little, who we weren't sure could be the swing tackle. He played a whole game at right tackle. I didn't hear his name called one time. And so that's good. As an offensive lineman, your name's not called. You're not doing anything.
Cam, I was talking about this in pregame. He's got a chance to keep the job. If he goes out and kicks ass for a month,
right?
How do you bench him? How do you bench him?
Right.
You know what I mean? So this is a big month for Greg Little, a bad month for Austin Jackson to get injured right at the beginning of the season where you didn't get a chance to really prove yourself. And if Greg goes out there and makes him feel really good about Tua's blind side, I'm just saying.
Right.
Just saying. And this is a former high pick also in the draft. So it's not like this is a guy that obviously these guys in the front office must have liked Greg Little in the draft also. You know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah. They trusted him. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I did not see this one with Greg Little. Like in camp, I was like, please sign another offensive tackle. Please. Like, this is not a good idea. And so this kind of shows that sometimes they know more than us, and so not all the time. There are some times that I know more than them, I will say, but this time they were right. And I will say corners too. When Byron Jones was hurt and could not, I'm like, please sign another corner. This is good. And, Cater Kohu, who actually played a lot in the second half with the starters, has shown that maybe they didn't need another corner to hold on and keep things tight, for this team. And so I think we've learned a lot about this group.
Whoa. There we go. He's back. You said, I think we've learned a lot about this group, and continue. Oh. Can't hear you. Can't hear. How about, there we go. Hello. Pizza guy. We will try to get in contact with Cam here. Give us a second. So Austin Jackson then playing Tua threw for 400+ yards and 6 TDs. Confidence? I think not. There we go. I think he's back now, ready to go.
Yeah.
You said we learned a lot about this team, and then.
Yeah. The thing about this app is when I get calls, I'll lose the audio. But yeah, no, I think we learned a lot about this team and how they fight. I didn't necessarily see they can win this sort of game. Maybe I wasn't a believer, but if you would have told me before the game that the Dolphins are down 21 on the road against the Ravens, I'd be like, okay, we will see them next week in Buffalo. And so they showed us that they can do it, and now the expectations rise. And I thought coming into the season that this is a playoff team. I think this solidifies that this team is one of the best 6 or 7 teams in the AFC, and now it's how far can they rise? And, I am eager to see next week because it'll be a good marching step. But I do think that you relish a moment like this on the road against a very good Ravens team, against a Lamar Jackson, who, by the way, played phenomenal today. Like, he looked like a run me my money type quarterback today, and he just got outplayed by a possessed Tua today. And so that's the story of the day. Lamar played like an MVP, and Tua played better.
So my prediction of going 3-1 in the first 4 games, does it sound crazy now?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And I got to run in a second to get ready for my flight, but it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, this is the hardest stretch of the season. You start off with a Patriots team that's not very good, but they also won a day against the Steelers team. And you play the Ravens on the road, a team that you hadn't beat in Baltimore since 1997. and
losing badly.
Right. Exactly. Against Lamar Jackson and how hot he's been. You got Buffalo next week, and we all know that team is probably the favorite to win the Super Bowl. And then you got Cincinnati on the road on Thursday Night Football. And so that's a heck of a challenge. But like I said, you're going to learn a lot about this team because that's the playoff matches you're going to face. The last 3 teams, the Ravens,
I don't worry about the Ravens. Lamar. When push comes to shove, Lamar can't do anything in the playoffs.
Oh, see, I completely
he's not a playoff quarterback. This is a regular season offense. That's all what it is.
So I disagree with the Lamar disrespect. It would have been a different story if Tua didn't have the game he had.
But that's my point. That's what you run into in the playoffs. You run into the elite passers, and he can't match with the elite passers.
Did you watch the first half? Did you watch?
Yeah, and it was, and there were a lot of factors. Think about this. By the time it was 35-21, what was the difference in the game? The long run by Lamar and the special teams touchdown. It's really what overall, I get it. They played a terrible first half, but then when they turned it on and it became a playoff game at the end, and the team came back and took the lead, and he had to then answer. That's his problem right there. When the defense takes it up to another level. Look, man, the proof is in the pudding. What does he do in the playoffs? You can brag about everything he does in the regular season. I then go to you, okay, give me playoff success. Right. And he pees in his pants every single time in the playoffs. So until I actually see something, and the Herbert thing, that's the other thing. Herbert is a better talent. He's never been a better quarterback than Tua. He was never a better quarterback than Tua in college. And we'll see now in the NFL, but he already beat him once. There's a difference between physical talent and being a quarterback. And I think that's what a lot of people are learning with Tua, just like Montana, just like Drew Brees, just like Bob Greasy, just like Fran Tarkenton. These guys aren't built like those other guys. They win differently, but that doesn't mean they can't win. And that's what I think people are learning. You got to stop with this freakish stuff. Not everybody's built like Josh Allen. There are quarterbacks that are built half their size and they can kick ass. And that's these guys. That's all. That's just me. Right. That's the way I look at it. All right. Get on the plane, safe travels. And if you didn't bring us a crab cake, you suck. We'll catch up with you later on in the week.
I gotta get one for me right before I get on this flight. So we're gonna try to see if
I can get one. You didn't get one?
Oh, they didn't have one in the press box. Like I had a different dinner last night, so I'm gonna make sure to get one before I get back on the flight for sure.
Crab cakes.
Even if it's at the airport. Yep.
All right. You be good. Thank you. That is Cam Wolf. The Wolf Pack has been unleashed.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
I love it. Ron G says, Big O gives off the Tua hater energy just on other QBs. Exactly. But really, it's more on you people for not understanding what you're seeing in Lamar Jackson or Ryan Tannehill or Justin Herbert or whatever that we've talked about throughout the years. There are things that people, Cam Newton was another one of those guys. Monster respect for Cam Newton. because he carried Auburn. He did an amazing job to win the national title that year. He did a great job winning the MVP because he's a freakish talent. That doesn't mean he was ever a great quarterback. He was never a great quarterback because he can't pass you out of situations. Just like this kid. It's what I see until I see different. Then I'll tell you I'm wrong. Josh Allen. He couldn't hit the side of a barn in Wyoming at the Senior Bowl, his first year in the NFL. I thought for sure I was 1,000% right about Josh Allen. Guess what? I'm wrong. But that's what some of you have to learn. You got to learn to take the L. You got to say when you're wrong, you're wrong. And boy, I was wrong about Josh Allen. Wrong. Now, I don't watch Wyoming football, but man, what I saw was garbage. Big guy with an arm, and I was like, okay, another guy with a big arm that has no idea where it's going. So I've seen the guys with the big arms that don't know where it's going. Cam Newton, what is it? Zach Sudfeld, I think is a kid's name from Indiana. I've seen those guys. I've seen the Jeff George, the guys with the golden arm, but got no balls whatsoever. He's going to fold like a cheap tent in tough moments. You know, Bledsoe, Foldo. I think Herbert is in that Jeff George, Drew Bledsoe mold. Until proven otherwise, that's kind of the way I look at Justin Herbert. That's how I've always looked at him. Nothing's changed. Bledsoe put up stats. Jeff George put up stats. Justin Herbert puts up stats. What do you win? What do you win? That's what I want to know. So it's different. I look at Tannehill. I look at Lamar. I see athletes. So I pick on you people that then tell me that this guy's a real quarterback and that guy's not. And so when you tell me that Tua's not, just like as much as I love Joe Shad, I lost my shit on him on Friday when he told me that Herbert was great. Are you out of your mind? You want to tell me he's a great physical talent? No problem. So was Vince Young. That's fantastic. What do you win? Playoffs on the line last year. He lost to Houston. Game was on the line last week. He lost. He lost the game. What do you win is what I want to know. Please tell me, what the hell do you win? That's what I got to know. John Padilla says Big O will enjoy this on the next 3-0. Credit to Big O. Huge Tua supporter. Credit O-line. Fins up. Dolphins, baby. Yep. Yeah, they'll do that. That's exactly what they'll do. They'll credit everything else but Tua. Boy, what a last 5 days for those Herbert people. Holy moly. Let me see what else we have here just in case. Let me get to it. Michelle Cracciola, thank you for the love on Venmo. Rosendo also. Michelle says, haven't seen such a gutsy win since number 13 was QB. Flo would have wet his pants before halftime. You're right. He would have benched him. He would have benched Tua when really it's not Tua's fault while you're losing. Rosendo says, a big shout out to you and Sean. Shout out, tomorrow is my 50th birthday, and Wednesday is Raging Dolphins' birthday. I'm wearing my Tua jersey. What a great birthday gift for my birthday. There you go, Rosendo. Nice job by you, sir. Dean Gramasty says, Big O, it's been a while. You are the man, the best. You said to stay the course. The best show, too. The Dolphins' glory days are coming back. The CBS crew can go screw themselves. Fins for life. There you go. I love it. Deborah Bond, thank you also for the love on Venmo. I'm going to have to restart my phone because I don't know why the Cash App one just keeps going round and round and round. So I'll update it now and see what the hell's the deal going on. By the way, EJD Construction, a proud sponsor of our program, the EJDconstruction.com post-game show. Call them at 305-433-4843. custom home construction, major home remodeling. They are fully insured, liability and all, folks, workers' comp. So make sure you hire the right people that are insured when they go into your home. Call them 305-433-4843. Stephen Caprella says, comeback Tua was amazing. What an epic win. First place all day, every day. That's the other thing, folks. They're in first place with the Bills. And I hate to piss some of you off. I'm not sitting here going, that's a loss. They got a shot, man. Why not? Why can't they do it? Why? Yeah, the Bills are the better team. There's no freaking doubt they're the better team. But the Dolphins have proven to be pretty resilient so far. And to go to Baltimore and come back from that deficit, it's a lot of character for that team. A lot of confidence going into that game. That's pretty cool. Okay? There's a crap ton of confidence going into that game. Terrence Admore, thank you for the love on the Cash App. Very nice of you, sir. Thank you out there. Appreciate it. 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Alec Ingold did do a good job. Thank God he didn't get hurt because they didn't have really a backup. On the Welt and Rayom text line, what a great game by Tua. F all the haters. What else do you have here? Let's see. You're sending me some stuff that, let me see if I can see it. His main targets, Jalen Waddle and Tariq, were torched and banged up. Ravens secondary for a combined 3. The duo's performance marked the second time in franchise history the two receivers each recorded more than 150 yards. Yep. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? It's such a sweet feeling to be a Dolphins fan right now. Big O, spectacular win by the Dolphins this afternoon. Yes, sir, you are correct. These are not your daddy's Dolphins, Big O. I'm a season ticket holder, and my 6 and 10-year-old boys see these Dolphins of the last few years, and they love it. They have no idea how good we were. We are building something special in Miami. I'm happy to share this with my boys. Go Dolphins. Good for you, sir. I'm so happy for Dolphin fans all over the world. You guys are finally enjoying a team that's going to turn this thing around, and we're going to start winning some games, baby. Get to the playoffs again. Become a respectable team. You know why you ain't getting all those likes? It's your haters, the Herbert fans listening to you. But you could tell them to click the dislike button as well. It has the same exact effect as the algorithm, and they get to feel like they're supporting their boy, Pee Pants Herbert. By the way, we have 1 point. Well, wait a minute, hold on. Let me refresh this. 1,400 likes, not one dislike. That's pretty cool. But he's probably right about the dislike. Don't hold back, and thank you for calling out that morning show with the old Finns tight end. Yeah, no, I listen. I love Joe, but I've heard it when I get in the car. They're all to a disbelievers. They're all eating crow right now, big time. Okay, they're all wrong on that whole thing. So yeah, no, they had everybody traded for Tua. They wanted Chris Greer fired, all that. No, I know. I get in the car when I got to go to some of my remotes, and I listen to the boys, and they do a terrific. I love Joe, man. He's a good dude, but dead ass wrong. That's all. Dead ass wrong about Chris Greer, and dead ass wrong about Tua. In fact, I was listening the other day, and I think he said, I don't know why I'm hated in the front office. And I'm like, well, all you do is trash Chris Greer, and you're wrong about Greer. You're wrong about Reggie McKenzie, and you're wrong about Marvin Allen. They're an excellent front office. So, yeah, you're looking wrong. Take the L. And Joe's good about this, okay? Just come out and admit you're wrong about Tua and you're wrong about Chris Greer. Apologize. Maybe they'll give you the time of day. Frisco Fin fan says, Tua showed that on a bad defensive day, we can still count on him to stay in the pocket and deliver. McDaniel showed he can lead a team for 60 minutes. 2-0, night and day. That's right. Omar will be eating crow. Yep, I'm with you there. I keep seeing the score on YouTube, and I still can't believe it. Yeah. By the way, kudos to Sean. He's the best. Got the score on the board and everything. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Now Stephen A. Smith can eat crow along with Diana Rossini. Yeah, Diana Rossini's another one that is a complete Tua hater and looking pretty silly now too. Fins up, great win, Tua demand. Great game, Mick from Bismarck, North Dakota. You know what I'm going to get right? Oh, no, you're a homer. Oh, no, I'm just right. But when I'm saying that Flo's going to get fired, I'm a hater. But no, I was right. Yeah, you only believe in Tua because you're a homer. Yeah, no, because that's who I am. I'm the guy that believes in everything, and I say everything's fine and everything's great. Yeah. Yeah, no, of course. That's me. I don't believe in moral victories, neither does this Dolphin team. The team showed so much character by playing all 4 quarters. Amen, sir. You are correct. Big O, what a game. Tua clutch, Herbert choke. That's what Greg says. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it. Got that line again in there. What's so weird about your text that you get that line, it erases a sentence sometimes. Big O, some so-called Dolphin fans only thrive in misery. I've got a couple of those buddies of mine. They live in that misery moment. It's crazy. All right, folks. I think I gotta turn it in, man. My voice is a little rough already at this point. I think I got a little bit of the concoction left. So, on behalf of oh, by the way, Sean, can you pull up that picture for me before I go? One more thing I want to share with you. A moment every one of us should remember, because I said it then, and I'll keep saying it now, and it's proven out. Dan Marino's a hell of a quarterback. I believe Dan Marino knows what he sees on the field. And as I've told you, Chris Greer, Marvin Allen, and Reggie McKenzie believed in Tua. It was the owners, and it was Flo. Those were the people that were scheming behind his back and trying to get somebody else in there. Okay? Flo even reportedly told Tua, I didn't want you, which is true. He wanted Jordan Love. How's that working out? That moment there, we talked about it a couple years back. That moment there was Dan Marino telling Tua Tagovailoa, you keep your head up, you keep going, you do your thing, you're not the problem here. Dan Marino knew Flo was a problem. The people that were in that building and this guy here, because, of course, the media had no idea. I'm the only one in the media that actually knew that Flo was, running roughshod through the building. And so they knew what was going on behind the scenes and how much of a disaster. And I think Marino has nothing but admiration. That's that Italian thing right there, the touch of the face. They give you that slap on your hand, the face. It's a tap, like they love you. It's a term of endearment that Italians have. That's what that exchange was 2 years ago with Dan Marino and Tua Tagovailoa. That's an important moment, because listen to Tua talk about Dan, and he just loves the guy. Why do you think? Why do you think? Dan Marino went through Jimmy Johnson, who was a complete asshole, and ruined the entire Dolphin offense around Dan Marino, made it impossible for Dan Marino. Dan knows what it's like to have to deal with somebody that doesn't want you. Because I forgot if you guys don't remember, but Jimmy Johnson wanted to trade him the second he took over, which probably would have been the best thing for Dan Marino. I hate to say this, As much as I love Dan, my favorite Dolphin of all time. But probably best for him. Not for us, but for him. What he had to go through with Jimmy Johnson. Tua knows what he was going through. Marino knows. That's why that moment there carries. It resonates. Because Tua had somebody that played the game, that's one of the greatest of all time, a Hall of Famer, a guy that played under fire and responded over and over again and played with some terrible offenses and defenses that he had to carry at times. And I know the receivers were good, but their running game was always garbage, and the right side of the line wasn't anything special. So please, let's not brag about something that didn't exist around Marino. So that moment means a lot. That's a foundational piece to the success you saw today. Because it's his family that gives him the foundation. It's his inner belief that drives him. It's people like Marino believing in him. It's Mike McDaniel coming over saying, yeah, dude, I can win with you. I know exactly what kind of quarterback you are. I know exactly what I got to do with you, how to coach you up. Oh, shit, you're coachable? Damn, this is awesome. You nurture relationships. That's how you build them. That's how you have success. Thank Dan Marino, by the way, for what happened today. He's not the one that pulled the trigger. He's not the guy that played on the field, but he helped that young man on the field stay on the path to get to this point. So props to Marino. Bless you, my brother. Thank you for continuing to help the Miami Dolphins succeed. We're out of here now on that note. I got to thank the one and only Sean Stanley. He masters this whole thing. Chad, of course, helping out. We always appreciate Chad. We thank Marcel Louis-Jacques. We thank Cameron Wolf. We thank all of you that tuned in. Please hit that like button. Smash the hell out of that like button. Let's get to 2,000 likes on this one, man. Appreciate all of you out there. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. You know I'm going to sleep like a baby, man. And I hope every Dolphin fan all over the world enjoys this moment. This is the beginning of many to come. Last week, you enjoyed the domination of the Patriots and kicking Belichick's ass. This week, you learned about your football team and how they can even come back on the road in a hostile situation. Next week, it's time to add another chapter. You know, the Buffalo Bills might be big timber, but maybe the Dolphins have the axe to bring it down. I love you all. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Fins up.
The Sports Talk 305 Network is back. It's time to talk Miami Dolphins football with a great... This has been the Miami Dolphins Postgame Show on the Sports Talk 305 Network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. On behalf of all our staff, we thank you for supporting us. Have a fantastic week.